If you go back to your basics, the more of something there is, the less valuable it becomes. If you have $10 and 10 apples, well, each apple you would assume costs $1. If you increase the money supply to $20, but there's still only 10 apples, those 10 apples now are gonna be worth $2 each. We do have this thing called Bitcoin that allows you to be your own bank. I chose Bitcoin as my ride or die because Bitcoin has a finite amount.
This is your host, Nurse Ralph. Today, I got Vance from the Bitcoin Broadcast Podcast, who's going to help me give you your dose of orange pills so you don't die from fiat disease. Vance, man, welcome to the podcast. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. It's nice to talk to another podcaster. You know, sometimes it's like it's like, how does it feel to be on the other side of the podcast?
I know it's weird. Being on this side of the podcast is like I like being on that side of the podcast.
No, I feel
I don't mind. I've done plenty of these in like the past year since I started my podcast. So I'm getting more used to just talking about whatever. I'm like a pretty open book. I'll share most things about myself. You know, some people like to kind of guard it, protect it, their privacy and stuff, which I understand.
yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to share your experiences, especially with something like Bitcoin. I think it helps other people grow, and then they can relate to your story. And so I'm just a pretty open book, so I don't mind jumping on other people's podcasts and sharing.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, same here. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Might as well. There are a lot of people that do want to stay private, but you know, it's like, how are you gonna make people relate to you if you don't show what you do and show your improvement and stuff? So I agree. And they're saying that Bitcoin is dead right now. So I was thinking about, is it a good idea to do this podcast? Are we wasting our time? What do you think about this?
It's the best time.
I know, right? What do you think about the bearish sentiment right now, man?
Oh, see, so I used to get really scared when Bitcoin would fall. Oh man, I remember the first bear market, the first big one, and I was like, watching your net worth drop that much is it's terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
It's like you think it's dead. You start seeing the headlines, you start reading everything. All your friends come out if they know you're into Bitcoin. They all come out and say, "Are you okay?"
Right.
And they're like, are you sure you're into Bitcoin?
Right.
You haven't talked about it much lately. And it's like, yeah, I know it's down like 50, 60%. I get it. But dude, now I get pumped.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited because when Bitcoin's down like this, you take advantage of it. And I'm a pretty greedy person, you could say. I like to gain wealth. I like to gain as much Bitcoin as I can along the way as well. So when Bitcoin's down 50, 60%, that's just a discount to me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I just want more and more. And, it was kind of weird. This last bull market, we got up to like 126, and I was looking at my Bitcoin stack. And I was telling my wife, like, man, I don't know if we can, like, get any more, like, unless all of a sudden we start making a lot more money. I'm like,
Right.
I don't know if we're going to be able to grow this Bitcoin stack anymore. Like, we can still DCA, but like, it's going to be a slow grind if Bitcoin starts cruising to like 150, 200, 250.
Yeah.
And when we topped out and we came back down below 100K, my mind kind of switched and it turned into like, it's go time. Like, we need to make as much money as possible, like always, but we need to start stacking again, because I think this might be our last time that you can really stack hard and get like a meaningful amount of Bitcoin, dude. And so I'm stacking as hard as I can right now. I don't care if it goes lower. If it goes to 40K like some people are predicting, then it is what it is. I'll still buy. I don't care if I'm predicting, this is my own personal opinion, not financial advice. If it goes down to 50K, that's my kind of target range, is right around 50. So 48 to 50 is, I think we might get a wick down there. Who knows?
Yep.
That's my goal. I have some cash saved up. If we drop below 55, I will probably start unloading that, like even heavier. But I've been buying heavily. Bear markets typically last about a year. We'll see if that happens because we didn't get a blow off top in the bull market. So
Yep.
we might not get a deep bear market. And I
Right.
think people are estimating that we're going to get, 75% below the all-time high, which would put us at like $32,000. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't know if I can see that. Times have
Yeah.
changed. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like Bitcoin's grown. So I don't know if we see that kind of bear market. And it's already middle of June. Whenever this comes out, maybe it might be July. I'm not sure. But,
Yep.
uh, you know, it, it's a great time to buy.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
excited. I don't stress about it. I set my DCA so every morning at 8 a.m. I get a notification that I've bought X amount of dollars of Bitcoin,
Yep.
and every time it drops an extra 5%, I go into my exchange and I smash buy some more.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
how I do it.
Yeah, no, I love it. I know that's exactly how I feel, man. It's like right now, it's like it's we have an opportunity to stack so much more. This is the time to start learning and stacking. Honestly, like I want to personally, I'm like I want to thank all the people that are selling Bitcoin right now to go jump into these AI IPOs or whatever the hell they do. I'm like, hey, thank you for giving me the chance to buy Bitcoin again below 100,000. Because honestly, I mean, I think the next bull market. I mean, we may not, like you said, we may not get Bitcoin below six figures again. Now I mean, once people understand what this thing is, I mean, I think this is. You remember? I don't know if you know the first price prediction that Alfini did. It was like 10 million per coin back in like when I think it was like the week after Bitcoin came out. It was like, oh, if the total wealth is like anywhere between 300 trillion or something like that, then he's estimating that if Bitcoin captures everything, it will be 10 million. And I'm like, hey, this is not even this is like a 90. This is you have Bitcoin on a discount right now. Like as long as you can exchange pieces of paper or fiat money for Bitcoin, you are early. So get as much of it as possible. Don't save your money in something that somebody can create more of, and enjoy life, man. The bear market is like it's like the greatest thing ever. Like I used to stress about it a lot too, but now I'm like now I understand it. I'm like, oh, this is so
Yeah.
good. Like the longer it stays around 90, around 60,000, the more stats I get. So I'm like, hey, I'm winning regardless. So I'm okay.
Same,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. No, I love it. I love it. And before we dive more into Bitcoin, man, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your journey before Bitcoin.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Colorado, and so now I live in Florida, but grew up in Colorado, and I don't know how far back you want me to go, but I found Bitcoin in about 2017, the end of that bull run, around like when it was like 13,000 or something, and I was just buying. I was learning to trade stocks. I had a very very boring job, and I spent like 9 hours in an office a day type job, and I didn't know what else to do. I literally just sat there and replied to emails when emails came in. Like that was it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know what else to do, and I started to learn how to trade stocks
Yeah,
and make money on the side,
yeah.
And all of a sudden, everyone just started talking about Bitcoin in 2017. It went from like whatever $200-300 to 20,000, and on the way up, so I bought like $50, like really small amount, and I was also pretty poor. I think I was only making like 40K a year or something,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
And so I'm broke. I'm married. We just like paid for our wedding, and so I just start investing small amounts, like $50 a month into this thing,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what it was. And eventually, I quit my office job and started working with my dad. He's owned his hardwood floor business for 30 years, and so I was like, all right, we wanted to learn how to trade stocks together, and
Nice.
so but I started getting into Bitcoin a little bit. So when I was working doing hardwood floors, I started listening to podcasts like
Yeah.
nonstop. I was
Yeah.
listening to 6 to 8 hours a day of Bitcoin podcasts,
Yeah.
and which led me into so many different rabbit holes. And you start going down like what is money type thing, and all of a sudden Bitcoin just started making more and more and more sense. But then 2020 happened. And as soon as 2020 happened, that was like my big aha moment
Right. Right. Right.
for Bitcoin, because we had so many things that were so backwards. And, the government overreach, the money printing,
Yeah.
the amount of inflation that we all experience to this day from that.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because when Trump came out and said like, "Oh, I'm gonna send you guys checks," and then Biden did the same thing, stimulus checks, at least here in America, and they're like sending out these checks. All my friends were pumped. They're like, "Free money, man!" And they're buying things like GameStop. They are trying to book vacations, buying cars, all this crap. And I was like, guys, this isn't free money. This is going to cost us. Like, this is expensive.
Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, I'm putting this into Bitcoin. I'm putting every dollar the government sends me in the mail, this check, I'm putting it straight into Bitcoin. And we did that. My wife and I, every time we got a check from them for COVID, we put it straight into Bitcoin.
Yep.
And, which was like a blessing.
Yeah.
But man, COVID really opened my eyes to the amount of like control the government can have over society, and the amount of fear that people saw. And I was like, something's very, very broken here.
Yeah.
And the answer was Bitcoin. And luckily I had been learning about Bitcoin beforehand, and it clicked, man. I
Yeah.
was like, Bitcoin solves this issue.
Yeah.
Like, and I needed to have more Bitcoin. I was obsessed with it. I still am. And that's my story of how I got into it.
Yeah.
And then I was silent for many years. I just was buying Bitcoin. The more money I made, the more I DCA'd.
Yeah.
And now sitting here, I was like, I started my podcast like a year ago, a little less, just like you kind of did, because I
Yeah.
was like, you know what, I'm not going to be silent about it anymore. I kind of want to talk about it
Yeah.
and talk about my experience, and talk about what I've learned along the way.
Yeah.
And so now I'm here,
Yeah. I
enjoy
love that.
spreading it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. It's crazy too. It's like there's so many like COVID like turned so many people into Bitcoiners. Like it's wild to see. Like it's like yes, it was bad. A lot of people died, but at the same time, it was a blessing.
Yeah.
It's like we need to like it's almost like you feel like you need to thank Jerome Powell for just printing 40% of all the money that was ever to ever be created. It's a wild, man. Like COVID was, and to be honest, like I didn't even think much of it when it happened. It wasn't until like after for me it was like 2022 2023 ish. That's when I was like reading more about it, learning about inflation, CPI, and I was like, wait, what? Like, how did this happen? And nobody like around me cared. I think
Yeah.
you're right with the scare tactics and all of that. They made you afraid to do anything. But then a lot of people had so much time at home to think, to read, to actually learn. And for the first time, we actually like stepped away from our like the I guess that hamster wheel. Like people actually had time to think, and we're like, oh wow, something happened here, something is broken, and we need to look into it. So no, that's yeah, COVID. Yeah, COVID was yeah, a curse and a blessing at the same time. So thank
I
you, Jerome
agree.
Powell. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree, dude. Like, without COVID, I think I would have made it to my Bitcoin conviction eventually,
Yeah,
but COVID just escalated it.
yeah,
And I mean, the majority of people that I talk to on my show, they say that COVID was their experience too, that woke them up.
yeah,
And there's just so many things that we can get into later
mm-hmm.
that I woke up to,
Yeah,
but.
yeah,
But
oh yeah,
knowing about Bitcoin was like the biggest blessing during COVID
oh
times.
yeah, for sure.
And so
Oh yeah.
I'm glad it happened. Like you said, like a blessing and a curse type thing,
Yeah, 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 no, I agree. I agree. And growing up, what did your family teach you about money?
So it's kind of funny because my dad has a degree in finance, but he didn't teach us about money. He
Yeah.
he had this degree. He used to work at a big firm, and then he moved us to Colorado from Chicago when I was like 2 years old, and he started his own hardwood floor business, and so he just never talked about money.
Yeah.
He owned his own business. He made good money, except for like in 08, 09, the great financial crisis.
Yeah.
That was tough. But he didn't tell us or teach us about money. I had to learn about it on my own. But what's kind of weird is when I was growing up, I'm one of four. So I have an older brother, two younger sisters. When my grandparents or my aunt and uncle or someone would give us Christmas money, well, sorry, Hanukkah money. Well, I was raised Jewish.
Yeah.
But anyway, when we would get holiday money, my siblings would spend it almost immediately.
Yeah.
They'd go buy new clothes, new whatever, and I was always the one that saved it.
Yeah.
And my parents did recognize that as we were growing up. Like I even to this day, they're like, no, like I'm the most financially responsible still
Yeah.
out of my siblings. Like my brother, he'll get a big check at work and like
Yeah.
he'll go buy whatever. Like I think he bought a boat like recently. I'm like, bro,
Wow.
like like what are you doing? And
Yeah.
I'm like, I know you don't make bank. Like, why are
Yeah.
you spending that on a boat? And my sisters, like, they're just not as financially literate, and
Yeah.
I try to help them.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I was always way more conservative with my money. I was the one that would go out and mow my neighbor's lawns for $20, you know?
Yeah.
So I was that type of kid. I would be selling things, like trading Pokemon cards back in the day. Beanie Babies, like I was always kind of like I collected things that I thought had value. I would sell things for money and I would save my money. That's just I didn't learn it, I don't think, from my parents because my parents they spent most their money. Like, uh, I hate to say it, but my mom and dad are still working, and they're in their 60s. My
Yeah.
dad, I think, is like 64. My mom is 60, and I don't see them being able to retire anytime soon. I mean, hopefully, but they're still working. Like they spent their money,
Yeah.
and they did have four kids. I get it.
Yeah.
But man, like
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that position. I
Yeah.
don't want to have to work when I'm
Right.
60, 65. I don't want to have to work right now.
Right.
I want to be able to do what I want.
Yeah.
Like that's what you want, right?
Yeah. Oh
Financial
yeah.
freedom is the goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
To spend your time how you want. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, my parents didn't really teach me that. I learned it from somewhere and I don't know where because
Right.
ever since I was a kid, that's just how I was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I never, yeah, you're right. Like, I never liked the idea of just working until 65 and then you get to enjoy that little bit of left of your life to hopefully, if you're not sick or unhealthy, whatever, hey, go on trips while you're old or whatever. I'm like, no, man, that never really set well for me. Like, I think that's why I started, like, I started training, trying to make more money and all of that. And eventually got into Bitcoin. So, yeah, I definitely agree. And it's so sick because it's like, I feel like if it wasn't for Bitcoin, it's like we never really ask ourselves the question, what is money? Like the saying how we work like 80,000 to 100,000 hours, but nobody asked the question, what is money? Until I think it's like 2020. I think when I first heard when Sailor first said when the with the Sailor series when they what is money show, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting, what is money? And then people start asking more questions, and then I started learning about, like, money versus currency and all of that, and there are other people that were talking about this, a lot of gold bugs, like the Mike Maloney from I don't know if you've seen the was it the what's his show again? He has a thing about currency where he talks about the
I don't
hidden
know that
secrets of
one.
money. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I haven't,
No,
no.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. It's old. It's like 10 plus years old. But
Oh,
they were talking about it. But and then I think eventually he did mention Bitcoin in one of his later episodes, but they are old episodes, so a lot of guys knew about it, but these things were never really questions that people ask, like, oh, what is money, what are we working for, we exchange our time and energy for something that somebody can create, but nobody cared, like, and I feel like because inflation was like, I guess 2% or whatever, like people never questioned it because it was steady, and then like once something broke and they had to print a lot of money and people were like, whoa, 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 what happened? Whoa, what is going on? I think we needed something to happen to wake a lot of people up. So yeah, that's yeah, man, it's crazy, man, it's crazy. Yeah. And what was there a specific podcast that you listened to back then that helped you understand Bitcoin and money better?
Yeah, the main podcast that I attribute this to is Peter McCormack's. He's not the host of it anymore, but What Bitcoin Did.
Yeah.
Now it's run by Danny Knowles, who used to be the producer for Peter McCormack.
Yeah.
And so I listened to him a ton. I don't remember exactly when his podcast started. I think it started in like 2019 or something, or 2018 maybe. But he started asking just the dumb questions of Bitcoin, like the very, very basics of like, what is Bitcoin? Like, how many Bitcoin are there? And it's like, oh, 21 million. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I needed like elementary school
Yeah.
teaching for me to get there. And that's what it was, is it was like, and then eventually he was bringing on these economists, and then you'd see people that studied like macro, Lynn Alden. And then you start bringing in, like traders and like Willy Woo. And then it's like, I don't know. I was just learning so much about every aspect of Bitcoin. I'm not a technical guy, so like don't ask me about, like too much of like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to help you out with the
Yeah.
technical aspects of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like I know the fundamentals. I know what Bitcoin is. I know, what it what it can be in the future. Um, but that's all I really needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should learn more.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't like Bitcoin mining. I'm like, yeah, I know the basics,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
if you tell me to, build a Bitcoin miner, like no way. Like I'm not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so it was mainly that podcast. I listened to Anthony Pompliano. I listened to Robert Breedlove, What Is Money, podcast. So
Yeah.
luckily, a lot of those guys, they blew up pretty big, and I found them along the way and was able to, you know,
Yeah.
educate myself through free content.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's amazing, man. Yeah, I know. Thank God for those guys for real. And let's say without going too technical, let's say you let's say you at a restaurant with your friends and you have your friend Jackie who's like who picks up the bill and she's like, oh, what the heck is going on here, why is this thing so expensive, why do they keep increasing the price of the food, and you had some time to talk to her and explain to her what the problem is and how Bitcoin could be a solution. What would you tell her, how would you explain that to her?
I usually, when something like that happens, I usually mention something about, how much money they can print. Like we were talking about with COVID, how they printed like 40% of the money supply. It's it's really, really difficult to do in a short period of time to someone, because for someone to understand it, they have to kind of like rewire their brain to think differently. You can't. It's hard to be like, hey, well, that's inflation, and then they're like, yeah, I guess so. Like everything's more expensive, and then everyone blames, the rich people or the president at the time. Um, but no one knows like where it comes from, and if they're willing to listen, it's usually, I start with inflation. I start with money printing. Um, and if they seem interested, then you can go into things like, well, money's not scarce. That's why gold was so popular and still kind of is. And, the US dollar used to be backed by gold until 1971, when Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard. And, the US promoted that to its citizens at the time as a good thing, like that we can produce more for, wars. Our economy will boom. We can build more. Our infrastructure will get better. So they presented it as that, and what ended up happening is the complete. I mean, yes, they were able to build things. Yes, things did happen, but that wasn't just because of them. Um, that was mainly, I mean, because of independent people that were, the entrepreneurs that were trying to do that. But what it allowed the government to do was print unlimited money, and basically with a push of a button they could create money out of thin air, which, if you go, back to your basics, if there's, the more of something there is, the less valuable it becomes. If you have $10 and 10 apples, well, each apple, you would assume, costs $1. If you increase the money supply to $20, but there's still only 10 apples, those 10 apples now are going to be worth $2 each.
Yeah.
Well, you keep increasing the amount of money, that's supply and demand, the amount that those goods and services, it's going to go up.
Yeah.
Everything is going to cost more. And so
Yeah.
it's almost like childish, but people don't think about it. And
Right.
when you tell them that they printed 40% of the money supply, they are like, huh. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
But no one knows how many dollars are in circulation, right?
Right.
So you produce trillions and trillions. I think it was like $8 trillion within like a year and a half or something in 2020 into 2021. Yeah, things are going to go up
Yeah.
because all the money that you have in your savings account just got diluted by the amount of money that they printed, sent you your $1,200 check, and gave the rest, to corporations, gave the rest to PPP loans, which like celebrities were collecting $1 million checks,
Yeah.
and NGOs, nonprofits, they were all making so much money off of COVID, and we were stuck with $1,200 and inflation.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, just like I told my friends when they were spending their $1,200 and I said I was buying Bitcoin, all of a sudden inflation comes around, and yeah, they say it was 9%. We all know it's higher. It got higher than 9%.
Yeah.
How much did your steak go up? How
Right.
much did gas go up at the time? How
Yeah.
much did housing go up?
Yeah.
We all know that you are paying way, way more for simple goods and services than you were just 6 years ago. Like an astronomical amount of money
Yeah.
that people can't afford to pay for anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And if you are not investing your money into something, then you're going to get left behind because inflation will eat away at your purchasing power. If your dollar can only buy 50 cents what it, what it used to be able to buy, then you just lost 50% of your purchasing power just by leaving it in a bank account. And so you have to put it into something. And I chose Bitcoin
Yeah.
as my ride or die because Bitcoin has a finite amount.
Yeah.
Stocks
Yeah.
can be produced. They can be split. They can issue more shares. They also are very manipulated.
Oh yeah.
Gold, people are constantly, I think it's like 2% a year or something. I don't remember the exact number. I think it's
Yeah.
like 2% a year of the
Yeah.
supply of gold goes up. So the supply of gold also doubles.
Yeah.
What is that? It's like
Every
every
35, 36 years ish. Yeah.
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 So I wanted to buy something that had a finite amount. You cannot print more Bitcoin.
Yep.
And I know I kind of got away from your original question of how would you tell them about inflation,
Yeah.
but like that's the rabbit
Yeah.
hole you go down when you
Yeah.
try to explain why something is more expensive. Because most people, if you read the headlines, if you go on Instagram, if you go on Facebook, a lot of the stuff you'll see is it's the rich people's problem, right? It's the wealthy, it's the greedy corporations
Yeah.
that caused this. It's their fault. They stole your money.
Yeah.
But that's not true because money is infinite. It's not a pie chart. It's not like, the rich people have most of the pie chart and there's only this much left for you. That's not true. If you want to get rich, you can get rich too. You can make more money. The rich people figured out a way to acquire more money by producing something.
Right.
And so it's not their fault. It's the Federal Reserve's fault for printing the dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, got off topic, but that's
No,
where
no,
I was
no, no.
at.
That's no, that's fair. No, that's fair. I mean, it is. You're right though. It's one of those things. It's hard to explain like in a short period of time. No, I agree. It's something that you need to like. You need to sit down and spend months. I mean, I don't know how many hours you. I
Oh,
mean, you. I mean, shoot. I mean, I know for sure. I'm probably at like has to be over 5,000 hours for sure by now because I'm just like I spent so much. It consumes all your time, and now that I'm starting to get it, but like it's like even then I'm still like there's still so much I don't know. Like although like yes I know quite a bit. Like you said, I'm not as technical either. I still don't know a lot of things about the mining and all these stuff. But yeah, it takes a long time. And and the thing too, it's like they don't teach you a lot about it in school as well, where it's like the our education system is just it's trash, right? Like it just feels like we just learn about like unnecessary crap. Even the history that they teach you is just it's trash history. It's like we don't learn about anything about money, the things that actually matters, like how to, when you get out of school, when you get out of college, how to actually the things that matter, the things that you need to do as an adult. You learn that as you go. Like school, like I don't remember what I did in school, to be honest with you. Like I don't remember anything in high school. I just remember hanging out with my friends. I don't remember anything that I learned really. I just, my math I was okay with, but like I don't remember anything else other than that. Really, it's sad. Have you ever heard of the fleas experiment?
the
How when they
fleas?
put the, yeah, it's like how fleas can jump like I don't know like 3 feet or something like that. And then there is a video of like a guy that put him in a jar and then he covered the jar for like I don't remember how long. And then after a while, the fleas were just jumping about like maybe like I don't know maybe 1 foot. And then when he uncovered it, the fleas did not go up any higher. They just stayed at that level. And it's the moral of the story was like if you train them for long enough, if you train them that this is your limit, you will never go high again. Like you'll never be able to achieve your full potential. And I feel like that's what they did with us, where they just trained you. Hey, you go to school, you do this, you stay at your level, you don't learn, don't you like they basically took away all of our dreams and all of our like imagination. And then most people just trust the process, they go on with their life, and then they're still 65, 70, and they're still working, and they don't realize what happened, what went wrong. Nobody talks. It's like oh, this is I don't know. It became a new normal now. So it's like yeah. It's
No,
crazy,
dude,
man.
the education system, man, that was a tough one to learn that was kind of a scam. And
Yeah.
then you learn the history of like the public education system, the Rothschilds,
Yeah.
and Carnegie's, and like it's not pretty how it was developed, and it's made to make employees.
Yeah.
You look at a school and a prison, and they look pretty similar, right? Like,
Yeah.
you go to school, you sit down, you shut up, and you listen. You don't question authority. You don't get creative.
Yeah.
You don't try and think outside the box, even though they'll tell you, "Oh, think outside the box," in some art class, and it's
Yeah.
like, dude, you're not thinking outside the box at all.
Yeah.
Like, all these teachers they're just glorified students by the time they become a teacher. Like, look at the teachers now. Like, oh my gosh, I look at them and it's like these people have like blue hair and nose rings, and I'm sorry, not all of them. I know
Yeah.
there's a lot of really good teachers out there, and I do know some of them. Most of them they lean socialist. Most of them lean Democrat. If you lean Democrat, I don't care. If you lean socialist, I kind of care because now you're messing with my livelihood. And so that bugs me that it's indoctrination, and teachers go from, all the way up until college. They get their teaching degree, and then they get like some certifications along the way, but then they're right back in school teaching the same crap that
Yeah.
they just learned.
Yeah.
They have never experienced a job outside of that necessarily, besides maybe, when they were going through school, they might have been like, a waitress or something. They've never had to create anything.
Yeah.
um, and so they get stuck in this flywheel of like, I'm doing good, I'm teaching kids, I'm educating kids, and like, you're dumbing them down. And with your flea experiment, or story, it's a glass ceiling essentially, right?
Yeah.
It's You have to shatter that expectation of, kind of like what I was saying with the pie chart and wealth. Like, you realize you can make more money than, making minimum wage or getting a 2%, 3% raise in your job.
Right.
You can make unlimited money. Like, we might have Elon Musk, the first trillionaire, and I know that's going to piss people off, and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care how much
Yeah.
money someone else has.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I want to earn as much money as I physically can.
Right.
And how are you going to do that? Well, you're not going to do it typically with a 9 to 5. You're not going to do it teaching. So those people have no incentive to teach how to make money because they don't know how to make money.
Yeah.
I do know that there are statistically a lot of millionaires that come out of, that are produced from teaching, because teachers have to get really frugal with their money because they don't make much. And so, I did learn that some teachers
Yeah.
learn how to invest, and they invest early on, and they invest for a long time. So
Yeah.
yes, they come out a millionaire when they retire at 60 or whatever from teaching.
Yeah.
But it's not very common. And dude, I don't want to be rich by the time I'm 60. I want to be rich now.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy my time now. Like, I understand like getting rich quick is, typically a scam, but you can still live a better life than living off 50, 60, 70 grand a year.
Right.
Like,
Right.
there are options.
Yeah.
And once that, lid is lifted, uh, it takes someone to actually critically think about what they can do to break out of there and learn that they can jump higher than just a foot. Um,
Yeah.
and so no, I think that was a great example. I'm going to hang on to that
Oh
one
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
for myself.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah. No, no, I love that one, and I think it's like the same in even the same in healthcare sometimes too, right? Like even for doctors as well. I mean, I guess we can dive more into health for sure because I feel like every Bitcoiner eventually, as we understand like how how money works and how wealthy will eventually become, we start taking our health a little bit more seriously, and it's sad to see that like the teaching in the healthcare system is very like similar where it's like it's I mean I talked to a few doctors and it's like they only get 1 hour of nutrition they're like class, and it's like what, like nutrition is basically everything, but they are it's like their brain goes from like, oh, you have a problem, let me give you a medication. Oh, you have this problem, let me give this medication. It's like, okay, not everything has to do with medication. And yeah, I mean, before I'm not gonna talk too much about that. I don't want to piss a lot of people off, but like I know you've posted on X that you had you have quite an interesting health journey, man. Like from like struggling with like anxiety, depression, alcohol, being on SSRIs and stuff like that, and dude, you're doing so good. I mean, dude,
Thank you.
congrats, bro. You're wow. Because I used to work in and as a detox nurse, and I've seen a lot of people in your shoes, and it's not that easy to like get over all these things. So man, so tell us, how did you do it, man? How'd you do it?
Yeah, yeah. So, for people that don't know, yeah, I used to drink, a decent amount, and it was like, of course, when you're in college, you drink a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like, you party.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just part of college these days. It's dumb. Well, when I graduated college, it was just on and off, drinking, not drinking, slowing down, but I was still partying like pretty often. And all of a sudden, I started developing like really bad anxiety. And this was like right before 2020. It was like it started out with like social anxiety and like I would get, I couldn't eat in front of people. So it was almost like an eating disorder mixed with social anxiety. And it was really weird. I'd never experienced it before. And I swear it happened because I was drinking too much. Like it affected my brain, it affected my body.
Yeah.
My body was telling me, like screaming at me, like, stop drinking. Well, I did the opposite of what my body was telling, which most people do when you kind of already have a problem. So I started drinking even more because my anxiety would get bad. And so to combat my anxiety, I would drink, right? And
Yeah.
then because that would take the edge off, it would help me relax,
Yeah.
and then I could fall asleep at night. But then I'd wake up the next day and the anxiety it'd be worse because I
Yeah.
drank the night before.
Yeah.
And I did this for so many years of on and off, throwing up in the morning and feeling like complete garbage for so long. And I applaud my wife for sticking with me like through this time because it was like dark, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got really depressed. Um, you start questioning things like, why am I alive? Like, this sucks. Because when you're not happy for multiple years in a row, it's really hard to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
It's really hard to smile.
Yeah.
And the drinking continued and it went on and on. And eventually, my wife and we moved from Colorado to Texas and I got really homesick. I didn't think I would get homesick, but I did. And once again, I turned to alcohol and the anxiety was like full throttle, man. Like I was struggling to like get out of bed. I didn't have a job at the time because I quit my job to move to Texas because of my wife's work, for context. So she was working, I was not. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I turned to alcohol hardcore.
Yeah.
And eventually that's when the depression set in and my mom called me, dude. I remember this phone call. I'll probably never forget. And she called me and she was like, "How are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm not doing good, Mom." I was like, mother's intuition. Like it had been a couple months since we talked on the phone and she just called me out of the blue.
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'm not doing good." Like, and I started crying
Yeah.
and she was like, "When you get home," because I was out on a walk at the time. I would try to go for daily walks to get sun and it would help my anxiety.
Yeah.
And so she was like, "When you get home, I need you to go find a doctor." And I was like, "Okay, I will do that." Because she was like, "You're scaring me. I want you to take care of yourself." So I did, and I found a doctor, and I show up to this doctor, and she is like, "So you're dealing with anxiety?" I'm like, "Yeah, here's a pill." And I was like, "I just take this?" And I was like, "Is there any side effects?" "No, you're fine." "Oh, okay." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Can I eat and drink whatever I want on this pill?" She's like, "Yep, just take the pill. You'll be fine." Okay. My journey, and that's got me on my SSRI journey. So I was on SSRIs, which is an anti-anxiety, antidepressant for those that don't know. I was on that for about a year and a half, 2 years. And man, those things will take you for a wild ride. You have high highs, you have low lows, and you
Yeah.
feel like a zombie most of
Yeah.
the time. And then
Yeah.
if you try drinking on an SSRI,
Yeah.
oh, that will mess you up, dude. And
Yeah.
so then I really started going deeper into the health aspect of Bitcoin, like, what is money? And then I was like, people start talking about eating healthy, exercising, and like taking care of yourself, for the future. And I was like, okay, I should start probably doing this. And then my wife and I are talking about, having a kid. And I'm like, I struggle to take care of myself. How am I going to take care of a baby?
Yeah.
If we get pregnant right now, that terrified me.
Yeah.
So I quit alcohol. It sucked, man. I had withdrawals and things. Like I wasn't like a drinker, as in like wake up and drink. I was like every evening I would have like multiple glasses of wine type drinker.
Yeah.
but I still had withdrawals at night, like night sweats and
Yeah.
stuff.
No, yeah.
It took like a week, and then I just started feeling so good. And then I was still taking the SSRIs. And so I was taking the SSRIs, and they started giving me anxiety because I wasn't drinking anymore. So it
Yeah.
like switched. It was like my body was trying to get healthy, but the pills were making me unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I, I I started cutting my anxiety pills in half, and because I tried quitting cold turkey one time, and
Yeah.
I got really bad, like really, really bad brain zaps, as they kind of call it.
Uh huh.
And I had really bad vertigo.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
felt like I was like falling through the floor.
Yeah.
So I weaned myself off of SSRIs slowly. It took a couple
Nice.
months.
Yep.
Um, I haven't had alcohol now, yeah, and I think it's like almost a year and a half or something. I don't really keep track because I don't really care to drink anymore. I feel phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've been off of SSRIs now for a very long time, and I'm so grateful that the Bitcoin community kind of pushed me down this health rabbit hole of be cognizant of what you put in your body, because that's, it's your fuel.
Yeah.
It fuels your brain. And when you're putting pills and poison like alcohol in your body, like I don't care if people drink, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you start developing a problem, maybe take a look at that alcohol that you're drinking, because it's probably a culprit.
Yeah.
And so I just quit. I was like, I want to be as happy as I can. I started lifting, started getting really into fitness. And so I work out 4 to 5 times a week now.
Nice.
Like I said, I don't drink at all. We'll still go out, and it's
Yeah.
fine. Like I
Yeah.
have zero problem um, with alcohol or anything. I'll still drink like a non-alcoholic beer,
Yeah.
just to kind of like fit in or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but but I don't touch any
Right.
substances other than nicotine.
Yeah.
Nicotine is one thing I still touch.
Yeah.
Um, it was
Yeah.
a long, long journey, and it
Yeah.
was a very painful one to come out of. And I mean, uh, if I had known how good I feel today, I wish I would have done it a long time ago, because
Yeah.
I feel like I wasted a solid 5 years of my life from my late 20s to my early 30s. I feel like is a blur.
Yeah.
Like, when you're in depression and you're drunk all the time every night, and the
Yeah.
miserable feeling every day that I had, like that's no way to live, man.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that I came out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do give props to Bitcoin for it, because I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe I would have found it on my own. I'm not sure, but Bitcoiners really helped with that, because Bitcoiners like to take care of what they put in their bodies.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah. That's
it's the
true.
low time preference, delayed gratification, and you want to live longer. You want to eat the steak, get
Yeah.
sun,
Yeah.
eat protein, drink your water, like
Yeah.
the stupid stuff that we should all know
Yeah.
and do.
Yes.
So sorry
Yes.
that was kind of long, but
No. No. Yeah.
that was how it went.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I know that's it's a great story, man. Honestly, like, and dude, it's impressive that you went through all of this, because I mean, from seeing like how other people how they deal with it, sometimes they just like go, a lot of them they just go more into they get more depressed, they just go, they stay on the pill, they don't really try to like or sometimes it's their environment, sometimes that they don't have enough support. So I mean it is tough, and I know I mean, from seeing like people withdraw from different substances, like alcohol is by far one of the most dangerous things to withdraw from, like for sure, especially with the like the risk for seizures and stuff like that. It's
You can
just,
die, yeah.
yeah, yeah, it is it's no joke, honestly. Like, and it's crazy because it's like it's available everywhere. So like if you
Yeah.
get hooked on this thing, like it's that's it. Like you can, like it can easily ruin your life just by like, I don't know, just if you have too much stress and then you rely on alcohol. Yeah, man, it's dangerous. It's really dangerous, but unfortunately, it's everywhere, and that's it's one of the first drugs. I feel like most kids, you go to college, hey, let's drink, like and like you, like when I was in college, man, I used to I used to outdrink like guys that were like 6 foot tall. I used to outdrink everybody, and then eventually I was like, okay, this is not good for me, and I always like to exercise as well and all that, and I noticed how it was like not helping me, and I eventually cut back a lot, and oh yeah, I wish I never touched it, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I'll drink here and there. I don't have a problem with it, but yeah, it is a hard drug, man. And I wanted to go back on the SSRIs and stuff like that, because I found it funny that your doctor was just like, oh yeah, there is no side effects, just take it, whatever. Have you ever looked at the list of the side effects of
Oh,
SSRIs? Dude,
oh my gosh,
oh, it's so bad. Like you,
it's
like
so bad.
yo, that is one drug I will never ever touch. My whole, like one class of drugs I'll never take. It's like your anxiety can get worse. Your depression, like, you can get even more suicidal. Your sex drive might drop. Like
Uh,
dizziness, nausea. Like the list of side effects is insane. And then they just prescribe these things like it's like freaking M&Ms. It's like, yo,
Skittles,
like,
yeah.
oh my god, that's sick, man. I'm glad you were able
Um,
to get up for that, man. That's wild, dude. That's
no, no, the fact that my doctor was like, there's no side effects is wild to me
yeah, yeah.
because I experienced less anxiety at first, and then it was very ramped up anxiety, and then it was less anxiety, and then she tried to double my dose, dude.
Yeah.
Like she took me from 10 milligrams to 20,
Yeah.
and I thought my brain was
Yeah.
literally like on a treadmill going like 60 miles an hour. Like it,
Yeah.
it felt like it was buzzing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and all I could do was nap.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that I could do to take care of it, and it was so miserable. And like I said, dude, I had to cut them in half,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
eventually. But
Yeah.
oh man, I experienced all the symptoms, like
Yeah.
the sex drive, like
Yeah.
erectile dysfunction, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know how much it sucks to like kind of have erectile dysfunction when you're like 28 or
Yeah. Oh
20? I
yeah.
think I was like, yeah, 29, maybe 30. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. It stresses you out
holy,
even more. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's so
Yeah.
demoralizing.
Yeah.
And then you're told that when I moved here to Florida, so this is when I finally got off of them. Moved here to Florida, and I ran out of my anxiety medication, and so I called my doctor in Texas and was like, "Hey, I'm running out of these. Can I have more?" Because I know once I stop taking them, I get vertigo. So I was like, "I need these pills."
Yeah.
They're like, "No, you have to come in." I'm like, "Well, I'm in Florida."
Yeah.
And so I went through another phase of vertigo because I ran out. Found a doctor here in Florida. He was better. He talked to me about my diet and exercise and things like that.
Yeah.
But he still didn't want me off the pills.
Right. Right.
He told me that I would probably have to take them for the rest of my life.
Damn.
And I told him I'm gonna get off of them,
Yeah.
and I went from 10 milligrams down to five down to two and a half,
Yeah.
two and a half, into
Yeah.
these little
Yeah.
like crumbs. I was like
Yeah.
sprinkle because you don't know what you're taking at that point. I
Right.
just
Right.
wanted to avoid vertigo as much as I could, so I weaned myself off for
Yeah.
I want to say it took like 2 months.
Yep. Yep.
Every time I would drop down a dose, I would wait 2 weeks or so.
Yep.
So it took a long time, and I still had some vertigo, still had some anxiety, and that's when the workouts, I had to go to the gym
Yeah.
because the gym would clear my mind, it would exhaust my body, and it would help me with my anxiety. And now, sure, I still get normal anxiety, like stressed about things, or
Yeah.
I get nervous for
Yeah.
certain things. But
Yeah.
that's just being human,
Yeah.
right? I don't
Oh
need a
yeah.
pill for that.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't need to. I mean, it's like stress is that's a normal part of life. You're gonna be stressed out about something. You don't need. Yeah, you don't need a pill for stress. It's like, yeah, just and also I guess I don't want to. I guess I don't want to say it like, oh, the doctors are evil necessarily. It's like that's all they know. They just know
Yeah.
meds. They see it. I do wish that like we lived in a system where where the medical system cared more about like your lifestyle
Yeah.
instead of like prescribing you, I guess, like selling you a product. Like it feels like it's like that that Rockefeller style where it's like, oh yeah, we just, they're just selling products. It's just we need to like rebuild the medical system again, where it's like, okay, doctors now have more than 10 minutes to sit with a patient, and they can actually talk to them about, oh, what are you eating? Are you walking enough? Are you getting enough sun? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it needs like a total, reboot. And maybe at some point in the future, maybe when we educate people, and maybe when we get enough Bitcoiners, up in power, so we can take over the medical system and the government. Hopefully, I don't know, man. I'm just, I'm shooting high out here.
It'll happen.
Yeah,
It'll
I know.
happen
Yeah,
one day,
eventually.
man.
Yeah, I mean, cause honestly, like, I mean, if like, I mean, my kids, and a lot of people, like Bitcoiners kids, they are gonna follow our footsteps, and they're gonna try to build like a future where that their parents like created. Like, if we are starting to cut down this whatever, like, this fake reality with fake fiat money, and we're trying to build a new reality for our kids, I think eventually the world will be better. And talking about that, actually, like, if 20 years from now, how do you see the world if Bitcoin does stay decentralized and secure?
Oh, I mean, I'm very optimistic about the future for that reason. Of course, I watch things and I see the direction that we're going, and that's a very pessimistic view of UBI and digital IDs being controlled and censored, and not being able to travel where you want because of you don't have this vaccine type stuff, which we already kind of experienced, and it's that is only going to get worse.
Yeah.
But we do have this thing called Bitcoin that allows you to be your own bank. And when I say that, like, you can have your own Bitcoin in your own custody, and no one else can touch it without your permission. Of course, people are always going to be like, well, what if they come and break into your house and force you? Okay, yeah, sure, that can happen. But I would still rather be my own bank than have all my money, with Charles Schwab or Chase or whatever,
Yeah.
and they can shut down your bank account whenever you want. Like, what happens to your money when in 20 in it might even be like 10, 15 years from now, when all of a sudden your carbon tax has been reached and you can't eat more steak,
Yeah.
and they're like, hey, according to your bank account, you have spent, way too much on steak,
Yeah.
so now you can no longer spend your money on certain types of foods.
Right.
What then? Well, I will have my Bitcoin. I can still buy steak from a rancher around in Florida that accepts Bitcoin. And guess who can't stop it? The government. No one can stop these transactions. I'm my own bank. I own my own money.
Yeah.
And that is the definition of sovereignty and freedom. Is I don't have to ask permission to do something with something that I own.
Yeah.
And that's the future I want to see for people that see it that way. In 20 years, I hope there are way more people like you and me talking about this, educating kids about this. Hopefully, like you said, dude, politicians, we finally have a somewhat pro crypto government, which is great.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a step forward compared to what we could have had,
Right.
which would have been a step backwards. But the best thing is they can't turn Bitcoin off. They can turn crypto off.
Yeah.
They can stop Ethereum. They can stop XRP.
Yeah.
That has servers. That has a CEO. That has a boss. You cannot turn Bitcoin off unless you turn off the internet to the world for forever. That is how you
Yeah.
can turn Bitcoin off. And
Yeah.
you know what? If the government decides to do that, to turn the internet off for the world for forever, we have bigger problems than money.
Yeah.
And you better hope you have guns and ammo at that point.
Oh yeah.
So I would rather choose the version of people learning about Bitcoin. It's a finite supply. It's a scarce finite asset that you can purchase, put it in your own custody. You can hold it for as long as you want. No one can touch it. Um, that's I don't I want the government as far away from my business as possible. I want people to be able to exchange in a free, an open market for whatever goods and services they want using this technology. That's the kind of future I want with Bitcoin, and I think it will happen. Because if it doesn't, then it gets kind of dark kind of quick.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
I think there's going to be people like you and me that found it, and we'll be okay. I think no matter what, because even yeah, you're in a different state than I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in Florida, so I'm in the best state in America. You're you're up north,
Yeah.
so what happens though? Let's say Florida turns completely around, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, you know, uh, I need to leave. I need to get out of Florida. I need to flee the United States.
Yeah.
How are you going to bring your bank account, the amount of money in your bank, whether you have gold or dollars, how are you going to flee your country and take that with you? Are you going to get on an airplane? Pretty sure they check that. You can't even bring $10,000 with you. So, all right, you're screwed there. Unless you're wealthy enough to fly private, you might be able to get away with it. With cash, probably not gold because it weighs too much. But Bitcoin, you can memorize your seed phrase, and you can put all that wealth onto a wallet. You memorize the password to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I recommend that. I would recommend putting it onto some sort of metal device,
Right. Right.
just in case you forget a word.
Yeah.
But you can memorize your password if you want, and you can transfer your wealth with you wherever you go, because one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin, and anyone in the world can exchange it for whatever currency they have. So if you need to flee and go to Italy, probably a bad example, but if you go to Italy and they have euros, you can exchange Bitcoin for euros
Yeah. Yeah.
at no exchange rate. It's just it's the price of Bitcoin for their
Yeah.
euros,
Yeah.
and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Or they can accept the Bitcoin for what it is, and guess what? The government cannot halt that bank account from me, and that's the future. I hope we get to a point where the government realizes this, more people realize this, that we should be more free to do with what our money, and that's a very I think it sounds pretty nice, is less taxation, more freedom, you know, let markets be markets, let people be free with their own money that they make. That's really important,
Yeah.
because right now we don't have that at all. We
Yeah.
live in a very, to be honest, that we do live in a very socialist system that taxes the crap out of us. If you at the end of the day you only get to keep 70% of your paycheck, uh, I'm sorry, you're not free.
Yeah.
That's theft.
Yeah.
They stole 30% of your money. I didn't see the government anywhere when I was at work, but they
Yeah.
took it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you get you have to go around regulations for everything to get your ID, your driver's license. You get taxed on sales tax. You buy a home and you have to pay property tax. It's endless, and I hope that kind of corrupt system that we live in now really starts to fade away, because we can have a better system with Bitcoin.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And you're right, though. Like I remember one of the first time I did my taxes, and I was like, wait a minute, like I don't remember the government being there in the rooms doing CPR with my patients. How come they took over 25% of my paycheck? Hold on, what the heck is going on here? Like, what? That's just crazy. No, yeah, and but yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I feel like a world without Bitcoin at this point, a future, I guess, without Bitcoin it does look scary, honestly. Like I don't think I would want it, because I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like this might be the government's last chance at controlling the people. To be honest, like with like the CBDCs and stablecoin, because I think one of the things that stop a lot of people from using Bitcoin is because they complain, oh, Bitcoin is it's digital, it's not physical, and oh, it can't be real. But like once you transition to, yeah, exactly, too volatile, all of that. But like once you transition to stablecoin and people realize, oh, these are basically the same thing. It's like, oh, it's digital, you can't touch it, but we're using it, but it's losing purchasing power. Like once they see like a version of Bitcoin that they call stable coin that's not really stable, that still gets more expensive, then it's like I feel like that's like their last chance to like at fiat money in general. And then after that, after stable coins or CBDCs, it's the same thing to me. But like after that, like, it's like what else can they do? Like once people start waking up, like this, like I can't see them coming up with another form of fiat other than that. It's like, so I'm like, in mind, I'm thinking maybe we should just like push this stable coin so that people can realize this thing faster, how much of a scam it is, so that people can transition to a better form of money faster. I don't know. What do you think about that, actually?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think stable coins are kind of the pathway to a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. I
Yeah.
think that's what they're going to use. Um, and I agree. Hopefully, more people wake up to it. I can already tell you they're going to incentivize people to use the CBDC. They're going to say, it's for your safety. We can monitor and catch criminals. We can make
Oh
sure
yeah.
people aren't stealing your tax dollars like they have been. They're gonna incentivize someone.
Oh
They're
yeah.
gonna incentivize you somehow
Yeah.
to use their currency.
Yeah.
I only see that ending in a bad way. Or sorry, in two ways. Either a really bad war where another revolution where American citizens are sick of it, and so that's why never give up your guns, people. Because once you give up your guns, then you're done.
Yeah.
Then you have nothing left. So, then they have complete control over you. If they
Yeah.
have control over your money, and your privacy, you're done. Uh, and so, yeah, you have to go to Bitcoin. You have to go to a system that's decentralized, that no single one person controls.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see another way, and I completely agree with you. Without Bitcoin, I would have less hope.
Yeah.
Like, I know it sounds so like corny and like foo foo. It's like, oh, hope and dreams, and it's like, but if you think about it, what else could we use, man? Like, what else could we use? I don't see
XRP.
another option right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like it's like yeah, people are talking about, oh yeah, the next Bitcoin, XRP, Caspa, whatever the hell they talk. It's like, no, like these things. No, it's no. There is no other option but Bitcoin.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
People are stuck in fiat world.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really hard to get out of fiat world. It really is.
Oh yeah, because yeah, that's all we know. Yeah, that's literally all we know. Fiat is, yeah. Yeah, man. But on a more positive note, though, what else do you do for fun outside of the podcast and Bitcoin?
Oh man, like I said, I live in Florida, so
Yeah.
I enjoy the beach very
Yeah.
much.
Yep.
Go ahead, follow me on X, and I'll send you feet pics of me on the beach. No, I'm just kidding. So I used to snowboard a lot when I lived in Colorado,
Yeah.
but now I live here, and I love warm weather. So there's lots of pickleball to be played,
Nice.
stand-up paddle boards,
Nice.
um, just hanging out on the beach. I love. We have a swimming pool because I live in like a community. It's like townhome type thing. So there's a
Yeah.
community pool.
Yeah.
I love being outside. Like we go for bike rides, we go for walks in nature.
Yeah.
I love all that stuff. I'm being inside is, I'm inside because I have to record my podcast and I have to
Yeah.
edit and I have to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But fishing, I love fishing, dude.
Nice.
Almost anything outside. Like
Yeah.
that's why I love Florida so much because you can be outside unless there's a hurricane. You can be outside, year round. Like, of course we get normal rainstorms and stuff, but like it's nice weather. Sometimes it's hot, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Like you, you're in the water most of the time.
Yeah.
Like one of these days, I know I ragged on my brother for buying a boat. One of these days, I want a boat, dude.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But right now, I want the Bitcoin
Right.
because a boat depreciates,
Yeah.
and Bitcoin is cheap right now. So I want the Bitcoin,
Yep.
and I will gladly sell some Bitcoin potentially in the future,
Yep.
not anytime soon.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is a very long thing. I will never sell all of my Bitcoin,
Yeah.
for the record. I
Yep.
will never sell all of it, and you never should. But you know, at the same time, um, I will sell a little bit to enjoy my life.
Yeah.
Uh, because what else is there? You don't, like we were talking about at the beginning, retiring at 65 type thing. Like I still want to enjoy my life, go on
Yeah.
vacations. I love being on the water, like hanging out on like a pontoon boat sounds great.
Yeah, no, I love
So
that. Yeah,
that's
I
what I
love that.
love.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great, man. And then one last question for you: if you could go back in time and give your younger self advice, other than buying more Bitcoin, what would you tell yourself?
Don't drink.
Yeah, fair enough.
um, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
How long ago are we talking about?
let's say 10 years. Let's say 10 years. I think
10
that's a
years.
good time frame.
All right. Man, it's kind of crazy, dude. I've been married 10 years this July. So 10 years
Nice,
ago, yeah, I'm
nice.
like, dang,
Congrats,
I was,
man. Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. 10 years ago, what would I tell myself? Besides the don't drink alcohol, I would say start putting yourself out there more. If you want to do any type of content creation, just start. Because I think back then, uh, I wanted to. I just didn't know. Like I
Right.
told you, I'm not technical. I'm so bad with technology, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm so grateful for AI because
Yeah.
I can ask it anything and it walks me through like I'm a kindergartner.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if you want to start something seriously in your 20s, start it
Yeah.
because it only gets more and more difficult to start things the older you get. I don't have children yet, but to start your own thing is only going to get harder the older you get. You get
Yeah.
married, then you
Yeah.
have kids, you have a mortgage, and it gets more difficult. I would say start something early, like find your passion, start it. Take risks when you're
Yeah.
younger.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
risks
Yeah.
because you got time on your hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one benefit of being young is I'm only 35. I'm talking like I'm 55. Like, dude, I'm
Yeah.
still taking risks. Like, I'm still
Yeah.
taking risks. I'm still, you know, trying new things constantly. So,
Yeah.
but that's what I would do if I told myself like at 25, like, dude, just start it, just do it. Like,
Yeah.
don't second guess.
Yeah.
People will make fun of you. You'll make fun of yourself. You'll learn so much faster though than just doing it instead of like, I'm not ready yet.
Right.
I'm gonna read more. Like maybe next year I'll
Mhm.
start it. Like,
Yeah.
dude, just start it. Like if you want to start your fitness journey, just freaking start it. Just
Yeah.
do it. Don't
Yeah.
wait for the new year. Don't wait until an anniversary. Don't wait until you have to get ready for Cabo. Like just freaking start it
Yeah. Yeah.
and do it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I would say.
I love that, man. Wow, that's powerful, man. I love that. I love that. Yo, thanks again for your time, man. I appreciate it. Yo, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter X under Huddle Florida is what I go by on X. The rest you can follow my channel, YouTube. The Bitcoin Broadcast is on Instagram, Rumble, Spotify, Apple, YouTube.
Nice.
Most the videos are on YouTube and Rumble mostly, but all the content, all of my podcasts are on those channels. And
Yeah.
then Instagram, I need to be more active. I'm trying.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like one platform I'm not very active on, but I'm trying to get more active.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bitcoin Broadcast in Huddle, Florida,
Yeah.
on X. So
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, and yeah, make sure you follow him on X for the feet pics for sure. So
yeah.
yeah. But yo, all right, man. Yo, thanks again for your time, man. I appreciate it, yo.